Hello everyone, it is Erin Floater here, and today I'm here with 10 types of postpartum spreads. So these are spreads for the parents and newborns right after delivery. So the idea is not only to track things for baby, but also to track things for the parents. So the first example I have is baby/parent sleep. So I used my own life example, not that I have baby yet, but how I would track this if I were putting this in my notebook. So I have a space for baby, mom, and dad. Of course, you could change those names out for whatever parent type it is. And so this is for 3 lines. Of course, you can change this up. You can put it on a daily page. You can put it on a weekly page. And because there's not a ton of room, especially if you're using 3 lines. If you're using 2 lines where you're just tracking maybe baby in one parent, or if you're tracking baby that may be in daycare or something like that, and you're just focused on baby, it might be a little bit different. So if I were adapting this, I would probably include it on my daily log. So you can see anything that is highlighted is when baby is sleeping. Anything that's highlighted is when mom is sleeping. Anything that is highlighted is when dad is sleeping. And so this is an example from when, for example, I'm taking longer maternity leave than my husband is taking paternity leave. So this might be while he is back at work, for example. Because you can see I'm sleeping during the day at times when baby is also sleeping. But he would be awake from 5 to 2 because he would be working. So that is an example of a sleep tracker. Number 2 is a medical reference page. This page has been so important for me. So this is also color-coded. Again, you can change out the pronouns, the parent types, etc. Or you can also include other people in the family. For example, I include my dogs and my cats in case they need to go to the vet or the groomer or something to that effect. So I have dad, mom, baby, and then you highlight on the chart when a medical appointment is happening. So this is highlighted for baby on 1/4. And so on 1/4, I have a 1-month pediatrician appointment. For example, mom has 1/7. On 1/7 would be mom doing blood work. So this is a year in pixels, but just related to medical related things. And this is really nice to have because even if you only do a couple months in your notebook, to be able to schedule out future dates is really helpful. So being able to have the entire year at a glance would help you to schedule those things in advance as well. Number 3 is a feeding tracker. So this has the time, the type of feeding that you are doing, whether you be nursing or bottle feeding, a description. So for example, if I'm nursing just with the left breast versus the right, or if you are doing it from a bottle, whether it be pumped or formula. And so this is really nice to add to a daily or to a weekly page. Number 4 is diaper log, kind of the same idea that you would mark down when you are changing the diapers. So the time, if it was a wet diaper, meaning they urinated, or a bowel movement. D is for diarrhea. B is for blowout, meaning you have some laundry to do as well. And then some notes related to that. Maybe they didn't react well to a certain formula, or maybe while you were trialing diapers, you were putting down notes on what types of diapers handle blowouts better than other diapers. And then the trash I decided to include because if you're including this on a daily and your goal is to, by the end of the day, bag all that up, take out the trash, you can also have like a little check mark to remind you, hey, it's the end of the day. Let me go ahead and take all of this, for lack of a better word, crap, out to the trash. So that's the idea for the diaper log. Number 5 is a daily everything log. So this is something that you could do on a day-to-day basis. It will be a 1-page daily. You have the date, weather information, how much sleep you got, if you did a workout, how much water you drank, a task list for things that you need to do during the day, a space for any events that might be happening. Say grandparents are coming over for a visit, you can also put the times there. And then we have, of course, the baby related things. So I have a schedule over here. So this would be 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. midnight, going from 1 a.m. all the way down to 11 p.m. And then you would put when the feeding is happening. So for example, if it were happening at midnight, a 3-ounce bottle, and then you would mark in maybe at 3 o'clock, the baby went in their diaper and you had to change the diaper. So those are examples of how to do that. Then you can also add a totals area down here where it's like, oh, total amount of feedings that happened and total amount of ounces drank, or total amount of diapers. If you want to get very particular, if it was a wet diaper versus a bowel movement, etc. So that's the idea for a daily everything. You still have stuff to do. There's still stuff to track. You're tracking stuff for yourself as well as things that you need to do during the day. Number 6 is ideal feeding schedule. Now, I am not an expert. I don't know anything about babies, to be quite frank with you. So this is just one of the charts that I saw online about like what you should kind of aim for when it comes to a feeding schedule. So it's for 0 to 3 months, the amount of feedings that you would do if you were nursing, the amount of feedings in ounces you would do if it were formula, and if any solid food should be incorporated. So you have 0 to 3 months, 4 to 6 months, 6 to 9 months, and 9 to 12 months. So this is kind of covering the whole first year and what you should shoot for, especially if you are trying to do solid with a mix of nursing, if you are doing formula only, if you are doing nursing plus formula, things like that. So this is, again, something I just saw online. So take it with a grain of salt, do your own research. I don't know enough about babies to be like, yeah, this is what I totally agree with. So, but that's one of the reasons why I think it's a spread that might be helpful, because even if you don't really know anything about babies like myself, having like a reference guide would be super helpful there. And you could do the same thing with ideal amount of diapers in a day, ideal amount of sleep in a day, things like that. So it's really like, what are you shooting for your newborn? Number 7 is postpartum recovery. So there's a lot of things that could go into this that I will talk about. But one of the things that I saw online is this 5-5-5 rule. So it's 5 days in bed, 5 days on the bed, and 5 days around the bed. So that way you are getting enough rest after having labor. And so this would be for, I think, a vaginal labor, not necessarily a C-section. I think C-sections would be a little bit different because that is way more on your body and you have to recover in a different type of way. So that's one of the things that I read is this 5-5-5 rule. So I put 5 spaces for each of these. That way you can kind of tick them off as you go. And then I have a little section for what did I accomplish today. So the reason why I thought that this would be helpful is because you can include anything on this what I accomplished today. You could include, I threw away a diaper today, and that is enough. So it's like really like saying, hey, I didn't do nothing today. I fed my child, I threw away a diaper. That's enough for me today. So I like the idea of this, that it's like, hey, if you accomplish one thing today, it's all going to be okay. So that's why I like this. I think other things that you could include would be definitely related to your moods, making sure that you are kind of present and aware, making sure that your partner is present and aware of how you are feeling, maybe some journaling. So things that can help the birthing partner really kind of tune into, hey, I'm doing okay, because we all know about postpartum depression and how devastating that can be to the mom, to the baby, to the significant other, to their family members, just to not feel like they know what to do or how to help. So I think a lot of things could go into postpartum recovery, but these are two of the things that I leaned towards. But I would look into more spreads that have to do with maybe recognizing signs for postpartum depression and things like that. That way everyone's kind of on the same page, just in case. So making sure that you are not only looking out for baby, their ideal feeding, but also looking out for the birthing partner as well. Number 9, that's not a 9. Number 8 is parental health. So this is kind of the same idea of hey, don't get lost in the shuffle, you still matter. So I have a little habit tracker calendar here. So each day has 6 spaces, as you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a little habit tracker to go with that particular day. I have strength workout, cardio workout, yoga, stress was present, 6+ hours of sleep, body rest. So all those things, almost impossible to do in a day. I mean, maybe stress present is really easy to do, but the rest of them, not necessarily easy to do all in one day, right? Especially if you are in recovery. But it can help you target at least 1 or 2 of those things, right? Again, minus the stress present. I included that one just so that you can tally it up later and just again, for awareness purposes. And then I have a section for health details down here. So each day you could put what type of strength training you did, how much sleep you got, if you got body rest, so which is, again, 100% valid. You don't have to do cardio every single day when you're recovering postpartum. I'm just saying that you can shoot for those types of things, especially early on, and especially being able to tally over time how much better it has gotten. So maybe initially it wasn't quite the best, but maybe after a month, 2 months, whatever, after you are cleared to do any sort of workouts, you can see how much the numbers have grown, and that helps you mentally, physically, and emotionally say, hey, I'm not doing anything. I am working on myself. I'm working on my recovery, and look at how much more I am able to do 2 months from when I first started doing things 2 months ago, right? So it's seeing growth as well. So that is for parental health. Number 9 is graphing. So it's kind of the same idea with tracking baby things. So you have baby's sleep, baby's feedings, and baby's diapers. Again, I would probably remove some of these lower numbers just because you're not only going to get 1 diaper a day, let's be real. And you're not only doing 1 feeding a day, let's be real. So I might get rid of some of these lower numbers and start it at maybe 4, 5, and then work your way up from there. And then this would be for a whole month. Again, you can also adapt this to just doing it on a daily page. You can also adapt this to just doing it on a weekly. But this is the line graph for a monthly basis. And then last but certainly not least is self-care bingo. It is one of my all-time favorite spreads that I have done in harder times. So it's just including different things that may uplift you, may make you feel better. Is a little bit self-care for either the parents, the birthing partner, whoever. So I have spa day, new notebook, mani-pedi, massage, buying a new record, having a date night with your spouse, boba drink, favorite food, long bath. Those are just some examples. I could probably fill in this whole board, but I was a little bored doing that. And then once you've completed it, you can mark off by doing a square around there, or you can mark off by coloring in the whole thing or doing a design or what have you. There's a ton of different ways to do self-care bingo, but that is a really, really helpful tool when it comes down to postpartum recovery and making sure you are staying in tune to yourself as well. So those are all 10 spreads that I have for you. So we have baby parent sleep, medical reference, feeding tracker, diaper log, daily everything log, ideal feeding schedule. Again, that could go with ideal diapering, etc. Postpartum recovery, parental health, graphing, and self-care bingo. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that these spreads were helpful. If you have some other spread ideas that you have done in the past, leave them in the comments down below. We are a community here. We love to share different resources. So definitely leave them in the comments down below. And I hope that this video was helpful for you. And I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.